Hello friends and fellow gamers, MKxJUMP here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at who I think the best 5 heroes are in Angel Legion. So if you need advice to make your team as good as possible, this is the video for you. But before we get into that, I'd love to give a shout out to Angel Legion who have decided to sponsor this video. If you want to check out their game, you can find a link for the Google Play Store in the description, which will take you to the download for Android. Also, you can find it on the App Store for iOS, and it's also available on Steam. If you don't want to use Steam, you can download Android emulators on your computer and also play through Android that way, which means you can use the same account on your PC and on your phone, which is pretty cool. As well, if you want to get your hands on some free resources to help your Angel Legion account, you can find a link in the description which will take you to somewhere where you can redeem codes. There's multiple codes in the description that you can use, and the latest one for this month is in there too, so be sure to check that out. Anyway guys, let's go check out who I think the best 5 heroes are for Angel Legion. Before we get into the full list, I'd love to give some honorable mentions first. The first hero I want to give a shout out to is Magic Arrow. Now, my Magic Arrow looks different to yours because you can fully customize your heroes, and that's how I've chosen my Magic Arrow to look. But anyway, that's besides the point. Let's take a look at her abilities. First of all, her basic attack is pretty standard. It'll just damage an enemy on the front row. So that's completely normal, that's completely fine. The thing that makes her really good is her active skill. It will deal damage to all the front row enemies, but that's not the good bit. It will increase 2 allies in the same column's energy by 3 points. So that's whoever is in front of her or behind her and herself. So she can fuel herself with 3 points of energy to do this. Combine herself with self-sufficient, which means at the end of each round, she will have a 100% chance to increase her own energy after she attacks. So that point of energy plus her active skill means she's giving herself 4 points of energy every round. And unless there's any energy disruption on your opponent's team, that means Magic Arrow will do an active skill every single turn. And that active skill will put 3 points of energy into whoever is in front of her. So what you do is you pair her with someone on the front line who wants to get an active skill off all the time. This is normally a CC hero, most likely one of the ones we'll mention later on in this video. But Magic Arrow I just wanted to give an honorable mention to. Another hero I wanted to give a shout out to is Shura Killer. First of all, she can attack backline enemies, which is very, very useful, especially for a sword hero, so that's really neat. And her active skill means she'll deal a ton of damage, and even more if you're using a Katana Maya, which is what you should probably be using. She is a fantastic execution hero who can take down back row enemies very, very easily, and that is often the weakness of some teams. Their backline heroes will be very much glass cannons. They'll do a lot of damage or have some fantastic abilities, but not be very high health, especially if it's a Katana team or a Scythe team, because a lot of their protections for the frontline heroes or heroes in a particular column. So actually using this Shura Killer is an absolute fantastic choice, especially for Katana teams. She will execute people in PvP, she will destroy enemies in PvE, and she deals a whopping amount of damage when she does. Also, when her health is below 25%, she gets a massive damage boost by 25% extra damage, which is really helpful. And also, when she receives damage, she will also increase her own damage dealt too. So she basically improves her own damage, does a ton of stuff, and executes backline enemies. That's a pretty powerful ability. And our final honorable mention will go to Valkyrie, a hero who is very, very strong and actually quite versatile. You don't necessarily need to use her on a Scythe team because all she gains is hit. Now, hit is very important because getting dodged is annoying, so obviously she's better on a Scythe team, but she has this fantastic ability that when she attacks, she can combo again, having a 50% chance to attack again, which is really, really helpful. And this could be an active skill or a normal attack. Either way, it's brilliant. And she can improve her combo even more to have a chance of doing it again by another 40%. So what can end up happening is a Valkyrie can attack loads and wipe out opponents. And this makes Valkyrie a very, very annoying hero to fight in PvE, in PvP, and it means she's going to dominate opponents by dealing a ton of damage. So Valkyrie, you're a pretty darn good hero. So with our honorable mentions out the way, let's get into our top 5 hero list for Angel Legion. In 5th place, we have a tie between 2 heroes, very much because it depends on what you're doing. We have Mental Healing and Sakura Dancer. Now, first of all, let's look at Sakura Dancer. Her basic will heal, very standard, and she has Recover Wind. That will add healing as well as healing over time to your heroes, which is very nice. So the active skill will heal everybody and then add an additional bit of heal that will happen on the start of their turn for 2 rounds, which is very, very helpful. Now, the thing that makes Sakura Dancer unique, first of all, she has arcane healing, which means allies will get 5% of their max HP given back to them, and that's important. Max HP healing is very good because that scales with the hero. But the big thing she gets is elixir healing, which means she has an 80% chance to remove all allies' debuffs after she releases her active skills. So she can remove CC effects and also debilitating damage over times, debuffs, you name it, she's stripping it away and making your hero as good as they can be. Now, this is fantastic in PvE, especially if a damage reduction effect is affecting your heroes. We use it all the time against the simulated alpha, and this is what makes Sakura Dancer one of the best healers in the game. But to not mention mental healing would be foolish, because mental healing is the best healer in PvP, mainly because of Light of Paradise, which is an active skill that deals a ton of healing, but when she does so, she has the ability Instant Recover, which means she can bring back a dead ally with 45% of their HP. That's phenomenal. The fact that you can bring someone back from the dead is ridiculous. It's amazing in PvP and is way better than what Sakura Dancer has, because a lot of the time Sakura Dancer's ability to remove debuffs isn't really going to be coming into play in lots of PvP modes because it's just so fast. Now, does that mean removing debuffs is bad? No. It's actually really good. However, just bringing someone back from the dead is phenomenal because dead is the best CC. Best way to control an enemy is just to kill them, and actually mental healing gets around this and can bring your heroes back to life. That is awesome. Now, one important thing is there is the specific detail here that it can only happen once per fight. And that's understandable. If she was constantly reviving people, it would be nuts. But ideally, if you can get someone to die and then come back, especially if they have a death effect, which means when they die, they do something, it's phenomenal. So mental healing is definitely not a hero to ignore, and that's why she gets joint 5th with Sakura Dancer. Now, what you've probably realized from this brief summary is that having a healer on your team is very, very important. So definitely get your hands on either a mental healing copy from the Legion or a Sakura Dancer from PvE game modes such as Simulated Alpha, and you should hopefully do very well. If you can, at very, very end game, you probably want both healers, maybe even Ghost Princess as well, but Ghost Princess is obviously the weaker healer of the 3, and I think that's why mental healing and Sakura Dancer are such standout individuals. In 4th place, we have Butterfly Girl, a hero that I personally use on my rifle team, and I think Butterfly Girl is the best hero for rifle teams. You'll notice from the next heroes that are coming that control effects are crucial to your success in this game. If you cannot control your opponents, they will overwhelm you and deal a ton of damage to you, especially in PvE. Now, Butterfly Girl is the weaker of the more potent control heroes, which is why she's only 4th on this list. But that does not mean she's bad. If you take a look at her active skill, she has a chance to steal 3 points of energy if you combine her with Blitz Sniper Maya. So that's amazing. Stealing energy from your opponent is fantastic, especially in PvP, where energy is all over the place. There's a massive abundance of it, and fights are very fast. Stealing energy is massively going to slow your opponent down and break their tempo, and it's most likely they're not using a rifle team, so that's going to put you ahead with a slight advantage. As well, she has an additional ability, which means her normal attack has a chance to reduce energy as well, and that comes at a 50% chance. So stealing energy from opponents is just fantastic. She can do it with a basic skill and with her active. The important thing, though, is her active skill hits 3 enemies, her basic attack only hits 1. And in addition, when she actually crits, she increases the chance of reducing this energy by 50%. So basically, if she crits, you can make it as high as a 100% chance to decrease your opponent's energy. So obviously, you want to build her for crit and hope your opponent doesn't have much crit resist. That's why you want to push your crit a little higher than 100% so you can overcome crit resist. But basically, it means if you crit, you're going to steal their energy, and it's fantastic. But if you don't crit, you still have a 50% chance to do it, which means you're not completely depending on crits. And it just makes Butterfly Girl a fantastic hero. Not to mention, in my opinion, I think she's the coolest looking hero in the game with the coolest weapon. Like, look at that. It is a 6-barrel revolver with a scope on top. It's ridiculous. I think it's awesome. And it has to be, hands down, one of my favorite weapons in the game. So yeah, Butterfly Girl, really cool hero. Not the best, but definitely gets a mention on our top 5 list. Number 3 is Time Guardian. If we want to talk about control heroes, there is no hero in the game that does it better than Time Guardian. She belongs on a Scythe team, and she is phenomenal. This active skill straight up has a 40% chance to stun the opponent when she's at her max level and you use her with a Scythe Maya. That's already fantastic, but lots of her abilities will improve this. For example, when she deals a critical hit, that stun chance is increased by 40%. And go with Deep Fear, that stun chance is then increased by another 20%. So that means it's a 60% chance to stun from her active skill, which goes to a 100% chance if she crits. Stun is fantastic. It's really good at stopping opponents doing what they want to do, and it's what Time Guardian focuses on. The main thing she brings to the table is stun, and it makes her one of the most powerful heroes in the game because stunning an opponent just is better than stealing their energy, because stealing their energy means they'll do a basic attack, but with Time Guardian she just straight up stops them from doing anything because they're stunned for a round, and unless they have a way of removing that stun or have some resist to effects like stun, you're gonna ruin their day with a Time Guardian. She is the best hero for stunning in the game, and that brings her in 3rd place for our top 5 list. So on the topic of stun, we have in 2nd place everyone's favorite hammer-wielding hero, Deadly Shadow. Oh my word, this hero is insanely strong and can go on a katana team, which is already probably one of the best teams in the game because Maya gets some phenomenal abilities when she's using a katana. First of all, take a look at her active skill. It is based on damage and you get an increased chance to hit a critical attack when you use a katana Maya. That's a 40% chance to crit. So immediately you're thinking, hang on a second, that doesn't really tell me very much. But if you take a look at this crit effect, when the combo skill deals a crit, she has a 60% chance to stun the enemy, and that's at its base level, going all the way up to a 100% chance to stun the enemy. Now, this is not as good as Time Guardian's stun effect, because Time Guardian has just a 60% chance to stun, which becomes 100% if she crits. However, Deadly Shadow has a very good chance to crit, and you can improve her crit massively with just good crit armor and building her properly. Obviously, crit resist is going to get around this, but not a lot of people really build for crit resist. So hopefully, if you crit with Deadly Shadow, you're going to be doing amazingly in PvE, super reliable, unless you, of course, get dodged, but dodge is, of course, very strong. And this just makes Deadly Shadow, when she hits, one of the most powerful heroes in the game, not to mention the fact she has this skill here, which improves her critical damage by 50%. So the thing that stands out Deadly Shadow from someone like Time Guardian is Deadly Shadow not only stuns opponents, she deals an astronomical amount of damage when she does it, which means she's killing opponents and stunning them. And this is very, very strong and exceptionally useful in pretty much every single game mode. Deadly Shadow is arguably one of the best heroes in the game for this reason, and that's why she comes in at number 2 on our list. And here we have number 1 on the list, it's Phantom Blade. Unlike the previous 3, Phantom Blade does not depend on Maya being a particular kind of Maya to do well. Butterfly Girl needs a rifle Maya, Time Guardian needs a Maya with a scythe, and as well, Deadly Shadow needs Maya to use the katana. Well, even though Phantom Blade is a katana hero, you will never, ever use Phantom Blade's active skill, and in fact, it's not that good, because at the end of the day, the thing that makes Phantom Blade absolutely phenomenal is this ability right here, Energy Transform. When she deals a normal attack, each point of energy will increase her damage by 15%. 15%! The maximum you can get from this is 300% damage increase, because you can have up to 20 points of energy on your Phantom Blade, and that's a normal attack. So all you do with her is attack with basics. You don't worry about getting energy stolen, you don't worry about getting silenced, because Phantom Blade only ever wants to do basic attacks. So what you want to do is use her in manual mode. This means if you're getting attacked in PvP, Phantom Blade is going to be less good because she'll automatically use her active skill. But in the majority of game modes, that's not the case. You can go in on manual mode and control Phantom Blade, and she is phenomenal. Look at her fancy ability here called Flexible Combat. After allies release a normal attack, she has a 50% chance to trigger her normal attack after that, which means she can attack out of turn as a follow-up from your opponent's basic attack. Then when they do their normal attack, Phantom Blade can join in, and Phantom Blade already deals a massive amount of damage from normal attacks, which will totally blow your attack out of the water, making you deal massive amounts of damage to the opponent, and she is phenomenal in simulated alpha for this reason, but can mince through opponents very quickly, and it turns just a ruddy basic attack that's not that great into something phenomenal if she joins in. So just hands down, Phantom Blade, for her last 2 abilities alone, Energy Transformation and Flexible Combat, is the best hero in the game, because she will join in out of turn, just destroy opponents, and it makes her just totally phenomenal. She can't be controlled by control effects except for getting stunned, and it just makes her so potent. So, do you need silence resist on a Phantom Blade? No. In fact, silence will make her stronger because it will force her to do a basic attack, which means if you're getting attacked in PvP by an opponent with a Dragon Knight, for example, who can silence you, it means your Phantom Blade's going to have a beautiful time. So if you haven't already, I want to stress, Phantom Blade is a must-have hero for any team. Because she's only using her basic attack, this active skill that synergizes with Katana Maya doesn't matter, which means you can run her on a rifle team, you can run her on a scythe team, you can run her on a katana team if you want. It doesn't matter. Phantom Blade is going to serve you well regardless. And that's why even on my account, Phantom Blade is my highest level hero at Red Star 1. So yeah, if you haven't already, get yourself a Phantom Blade. So there you have it. That's my top 5 list for Angel Legion. If there's anything you disagree with, let me know in the comments section. If there's any heroes you really like that you wish got a shout out, let me know too. If you guys also think this game looks really cool and you want to try it out, definitely do. You can download it on the App Store for iOS. You can get it from Google Play on Android, and as well you can find it on Steam. Be sure to check out Angel Legion, guys, and until next time, have a great week and happy ironing.